Hello everyone, welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I'm Kim.
Well, today it's part 3 of the Pendulum. Katie Perkins has left home. Her note says she's going to see her sick mother in another town, but her husband, who hasn't really been the best husband. He spends a lot of time playing pool with his friends and not spending time with his wife. He's worried. His wife is missing. She's never been away from home at night ever. So he's starting to think that maybe she doesn't like him anymore. Maybe she's running away and doesn't want to be with him. He was cleaning the house at the end of the last part.
As you do.
I think maybe feeling kind of bad that he never cleans the house before. So what would you're married, I'm married. What would happen if you just disappeared one night and left a note for your husband? Do you think
Panic.
Really?
I think so.
You think it would be terrible?
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, this is a different time. Like, back then, the story seems to be from a while ago, so she can't just text him and be like, John, I'm going to my mom's house. She has to leave him a note, so I imagine it's kind of a different situation if I have to go out or be out late or something.
Right.
You know, you just text somebody.
That's true. You might get a lot of texts and many missed calls on your phone, but you know, the person trying to find you wouldn't probably feel too scared.
Yeah.
Because they have your phone, you know, as long as you took your phone. What if you left your phone in the house?
Oh, well, I don't think anybody would do that.
Yeah, that
phone,
would be,
wallet, keys.
That would be kind of scary. So you've obviously never done something like this before.
Have you?
No. I got locked out by my wife once.
Ooh, what'd you do?
Well, I was in another city and I came home early in the morning and she was asleep and had locked the door so I couldn't open it. So I called her 72 times. What? I was like half asleep. You know, and then I went to another place. I went to her parents' house to sleep there. And then she called me a few hours later and I was just like, hello. And she was like, I'm so sorry. Because, you know, she was asleep, the air conditioner was on.
Yeah, you couldn't hear anything.
She couldn't hear the doorbell. So I didn't disappear. She disappeared inside the house.
Well, I'm glad you got back in.
Well,
eventually.
Yeah. And then I think she bought me a nice steak dinner or something.
That'll
as
make
a way
up
of
for
saying.
it.
She didn't clean the apartment though, like John in the article. Anyway, so we hope that there's a happy ending to this story, like when my wife locked me out of the house. But we're gonna have to find out as we read part 3 of the Pendulum.
John sat down and thought about his life. He never imagined it without Katie. He said to himself,
I'm going to make a change. I will treat Katie better from now on.
All right, so let's find out what is happening over at the Perkins house. John, it seems, is really worried now for a few reasons. It says John sat down and thought about his life. Okay, this again has never happened before. It's a big surprise. He's kind of scared at this point. He's thinking about his life. This is kind of like, you know, you're going back through your memories and you're asking questions about yourself. Why did I do this? What will I do now? That kind of thing. And it says he never imagined his life, without Katie. I get the feeling here he's pretty sure she's left. She's
John's
not just going to see her mother, she's going forever.
He's being a little dramatic.
I don't know.
I feel like
or maybe
this is
I think
dramatic.
also he's just starting to feel really bad about not being the best husband.
It could be, yeah. He cannot imagine his life without Katie.
No.
So to imagine is when you sit down and think about things in your mind. You can imagine like having arguments with people. Some people do that. You can imagine flying on a dragon through the clouds.
Ooh.
You can imagine what you're going to eat for dinner tomorrow. Can be anything. It's just you're sitting down and thinking in your head, kind of daydreaming and thinking about things to yourself. You're not talking to anyone or sharing what you're thinking about. You're just kind of sitting there quietly and thinking.
That's right. Making up stories, making up things that haven't happened, all right? And when you're without something, that means you don't have that thing, all right? He can't think of life without his wife. He can't think of life just by himself. Someone might say, oh, I never leave home without my cell phone. I always have it with me. I never go out and not have that thing. When you're talking about without something, you're saying, I don't have that thing. So life without your wife is life alone, or at least not with that person, his wife, Katie. And so what did he think then?
Well, the story continues. He said to himself, I'm going to make a change.
Oh.
I will treat Katie better from now on.
Okay.
Okay, John, I'll see it when I believe it.
Yeah,
believe
but he's been thinking a lot. This has been a big shock to him. Maybe this is going to really lead to a big change. Now here notice we're using change as a noun. A change is when things change. To use it as a verb, you're going from one situation to another situation. You change your clothes when you go out at night or when you're going to the gym. You take off these clothes and put on other clothes. So the thing you have might be kind of the same, but the exact details are different, all right? Sometimes when we go on a holiday, we say, I want a change of scenery. I want to change the environment that I'm in. I want to go from Taipei or Taiwan to Iceland. You know, it's a big change, right? It's very different. There's different things going on. The whole situation is different. And when we talk about making a change in our lives, we're talking about doing things differently, getting good habits, getting rid of bad habits, you know, redesigning things in our life. So I guess he's thinking, oh, I'll change, I'll stay home more, I'll help out in the kitchen, we'll talk more, I won't go to play pool with the guys all the time. This is the kind of change that he's thinking of.
Yeah, he says he wants to treat her better.
That would be smart.
Treating someone is the way that you deal with them. If you treat them really well, you're very kind to them, do things for them, care about them, love them. If you treat someone very badly, maybe you talk behind their back, you don't do things for them, you don't really care about them as a person. So he wants to treat Katie better. He obviously feels he's not a good husband. He's not doing things that are very good for her.
Right.
So he's going to change the way that he treats her. He'll clean up more from now on.
Okay, because he was kind of treating her like a cleaning lady or a chef,
Yep.
or, you know, someone just who's there to work for him, right? He goes to the office, she stays home, she makes some food, and then he leaves again to see his friends. So he's not really treating her like a wife or like a loved one.
Nope.
He's kind of treating her like a staff member or something like that. So that would be a good change if he can make that change. All right, well, let's take a break and then we'll come back to find out what exact changes John manages to make.
Suddenly, the door opened and Katie walked in. She said, Ma wasn't sick at all, so I took the next train back. That woke John up. Then he saw the clock. It was 8:15. When John got his hat, Katie asked, Now, where are you going? John answered,
I'm going to McCloskey's to play pool with the guys.
All right, so John has decided to change
Big
his
change.
ways. He's
All
going to
new
be
John.
a better person.
Oh yeah,
Because
super husband.
Without Katie in his life, he just can't do it.
Life is terrible.
Terrible. John is in a deep, dark place right now.
That's right.
What's he going to do? It
don't
says,
know.
suddenly, the door opened and Katie walked in.
She's back, she's back. My lovely wife is back. Wait, she's back early.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, exactly.
She said, Ma wasn't sick at all, so I took the next train back.
Oh, false alarm.
False alarm.
No emergency. Maybe her mom just had some bad sushi.
Ingrown toenail.
Ingrown toenail,
Something like
too much
that.
spicy food at the hot pot place. Anyways, so she's not that sick, nothing that serious. Maybe she had a little cold, but certainly nothing that Katie had to be there for or to take her to the hospital. So that's why she took the next train back. She went there on one train, found out there was no problem, and an hour or two later, she was back on the train heading home. And of course, this all happened very quickly or very suddenly. Yes, suddenly is the adverb, just meaning something happens very quickly with no time passing, or also kind of a surprise. Suddenly the doorbell rang. You weren't expecting it. It kind of surprised you a little bit, and it happened very quickly. There was no warning. There was no okay, this will happen in 1 minute. No, it happens very quickly, and it kind of surprises you. And of course, this is a big shock or a big surprise for John. It says that woke John up. All right, so I guess he was sleeping in bed, or maybe sleeping on the sofa, waiting for his wife to come home. And so she comes back and she tells him, "Oh, it was no big trouble with my mother. She's not that sick, so I came home." And this, of course, wakes him up.
Okay,
and so he jumps up and says, "I love you and I missed you and I'm sorry for being a terrible husband. I'll be so good to you from now on." Mwah, 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 mwah.
But it looks like that's not what happened.
Oh.
It says then he saw the clock.
"It's time for us to have romance, and I will take you out to the theater for a romantic evening, my lovely wife."
That's not what happened either, because it was
what?
8:15.
The clock said 8:15?
The clock says 8:15.
McCloskey's time.
Uh-oh.
It's McCloskey's time. Gotta go see the boys and play pool. Oh, this is not good, John. But yes, that's what it said on the clock. Oh.
The clock, we know what a clock is.
It's not going to change.
Circular piece of equipment,
Yes.
a machine that tells time. It has the numbers from 1 to 12, 2 hands, an hour hand, and a minute hand, and it goes around in a circle, and it lets you know what time it is. And right now the clock is telling John, it's pool time.
It's 8:15, right? Yeah, that's what it says on his clock. And when John got his hat, remember, he puts on his hat, he goes out to see the guys at McCloskey's to play pool, so he's doing this again. When John got his hat, Katie asked, "Now where are you going?" This is the same question she asked on day 1, right after dinner, when he got his hat and was going out at 8:15 to McCloskey's to play pool with the guys. So now it's 8:15, so what does John say?
John answered, "I'm going to McCloskey's to play pool with the guys."
That's what he's doing.
John, you were so close.
He was so close.
Oh, so close to self-awareness. It just didn't happen.
Oh boy, and I can see now, since we're at the end of our story, that's the end of our story. There's no big change for John. He hasn't learned his lesson. He's forgotten the fear that he had yesterday when he thought his wife had left him. He thought about all his promises to himself to be a better husband and,
Clean
do
up.
things with his wife more. No, now she's back. Things are back to normal. He's going back to his old selfish routine.
Katie, you should have stayed with your mom for one night. Teach him a lesson.
Oh, John. I hope he knows that maybe the next time he comes home and she's not there, it's not because she went to see her mother, it's because she went off to just find someone else who would treat her better.
Or buy a bigger clock that she can smack him with.
She could do that.
I'm still
too.
into that version of the
I
story.
think, well, that would certainly teach him a lesson.
That would teach him a big lesson. Much better than going on a train and coming back.
I'm not sure violence is the way to solve the problem here, but it certainly would wake John up.
It would.
And show him that his wife is not happy with what he's been doing. But of course, when John was upset, he had all these good intentions, all these, I'm going to be different, I'm going to change. But then when things get back to normal and everything seems fine, he can't stick with those promises. So do remember that if you make a promise to someone when you're feeling upset, you're going to have to live up to that promise for a lot longer. So think carefully, treat people with respect,
Yes.
and also kindness.
Yes, and don't go play pool with the guys every night at 8:15.
Exactly, and then you won't get hit by a clock or
Lessons.
or disappoint your wife terribly. All right, guys, well, thanks for joining us. We hope all of your relationships are happy, respectful, full of love, and full of passion. We'll see you back here very soon. Until then, bye, take care.
Bye-bye.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. See ya.
John sat down and thought about his life. He never imagined it without Katie. He said to himself,
I'm going to make a change. I will treat Katie better from now on.
Suddenly, the door opened, and Katie walked in. She said, "Ma wasn't sick at all, so I took the next train back." That woke John up. Then he saw the clock. It was 8:15. When John got his hat, Katie asked, "Now, where are you going?" John answered,
I'm going to McCloskey's to play pool with the guys.
Hello， 我是维尼，欢迎回来。这边呢要讲的第一个字是 imagine， 动词想象。I like to imagine myself singing on stage。我喜欢想象自己在台上唱歌。第二个是 change， 名词，变化、改变。There will be many changes at work next month。下个月呢会有许多工作的异动。再来是 treat， 动词，对待。We should treat everyone the way we like to be treated。我们对待别人的方式呢，就要像我们喜欢被对待的方式一样，也就是己所不欲，勿施于人。最后呢是 clock， 名词，是时钟。There is a clock hanging on the wall， 墙上挂了一个时钟。那来看看今天的用语。第一个是 sit down， 坐下。sit 的三态是 sit, sat, sat。We sat down on the grass in the park。我们在公园的草地上坐下。再来是 from now on， 从现在起。From now on, I plan on studying every night。从现在起，我打算每晚读书。最后的这个用语是 A wakes B up，A 唤醒 B， 或是 A 使 B 回过神来。Wake 的三态呢，学一下是 wake, woke, woken， 是叫醒跟使清醒的意思。My dad wakes me up every morning at 8 a.m. 我爸每天早上8点会叫我起床。那今天就学到这边喽，下次见。
Hello, I'm Matt.
And I'm Jamie.
Today we're going to play Guess the Bear, where we each have 3 words or phrases on our cards that we will replace with the word bear in a sentence, and we have 1 minute to guess the words.
That's right.
Okay, are you ready to guess first?
Yes.
Okay, I'll read. We got 1 minute on the clock.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
The first one is a verb. It's not hard to bear Matt as an architect. Bear Dragons is a famous band.
Imagine.
That's right. Next one, a noun. The website has been through a lot of bears throughout the years. The bear from paper to digital is happening rapidly.
Change.
Yes, wow. Okay, next one, also a noun. The bear in the office is 10 minutes late. The Big Ben is a famous bear tower in London.
Clock.
That's right, wow.
Yay.
Still have 26, or you have a lot of time on the clock still.
Thank you. These ones are easy. Are you ready?
Yeah, okay, I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, go. Okay, phrase, 2 words. Molly bared bear beside Arthur at the lunch table. And it's hard to get a 5-year-old to bear quietly.
Sit down.
Yes, correct. Okay, phrase, 3 words. Bear, I will always double check my work. And these eyes will not be blinded by the lights. Bear.
Okay, let's try the next one.
Okay,
Come back to it.
Okay, 1 word, verb. Fran bears everyone with kindness. And that's no way to bear your pet. Fran bears everyone with kindness. That's no way to bear your pet.
I feel like it's right there. I just can't think of what it is. She
bears everyone with kindness.
I can't remember the phrase.
It's okay. Should we go the other one?
Time's up. So
no.
you need to read those last.
Okay. Well, so for the
phrase, what was that one?
So the phrase with 3 words was from now on.
Oh.
So from now on, I will always double check my work, and these eyes will not be blinded by the lights from now on.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to guess. I don't think I would have gotten that one. And then 1 word, verb. Fran treats everyone with kindness, and that's no way to treat your pet.
Oh, okay.
So treat was the
yeah,
word.
I couldn't get them to match up.
Yeah, it was kind of hard. But yeah, especially from now on was really like, yeah. But
See you next time.